A very good afternoon and welcome to Bophelong, a place of hope. I am Pule Molebatsi. In this region of 5 million South Africans are disabled. This equates to approximately 1 in 10 South Africans. Despite this, though, less than 1% of all people employed in this country are those with disabilities. This, however, is changing very fast, and people with disabilities are also growing their capabilities to hold leadership positions, just like Minister of Justice and Correctional Service Minister Michael Masuta. Minister Michael Masuta has made history as the first blind minister in South Africa. Barely 2 months since he's been appointed Minister of Justice and Correctional Service, he has certainly captured the nation's attention. Here on Bophelong, we got up close and personal with this trailblazer.
I'm a very sociable person. I love going out, chilling and making friends, and I occasionally would indulge over a nice glass of red wine or a tot of whiskey. I will not advertise which beer I prefer, but all in moderation, really. I still need to find a hobby that would keep me physically fit. I don't think I'm that fit lately.
Born in Valdezia in Limpopo province, Masuta grew up in the dusty streets of Shaindima village, where he attended Silo School for the visually impaired people.
At school, I was quite active. I used to play soccer, and the totally blind schoolmates preferred that if we, the partially sighted, were to be part of the game, then the game had to be at night when it's dark, so that we are all at par. And the way we used to do it is to cover the ball with the plastic bag that makes noise, so we would throw sand at it with our feet to locate where it is. And there used to be a few accidents here and there, a few collisions, and people's legs, getting some hemorrhaging, but it was fun. I went to a school that was where the blind and partially sighted were combined. So I also got exposed to Braille then, and which came in quite handy.
He studied bee juries at the University of Limpopo. He then later completed his studies at the University of Witwatersrand.
I started to aspire to want to become a lawyer very early on in my growing up. I recall that when I was still in Standard 5, we were arguing with cousins, and I was telling them I was going to become a lawyer, and they thought the older cousin amongst us was the one that was the smartest amongst us. He's since passed on, unfortunately, about 3-4 years ago. He ended up being a teacher, and I ended up being a lawyer as I had promised my cousins, despite them not having much confidence in me being lawyer material.
Minister Masuta contributed to the UN adopting measures to recognize disability as a civil rights issue. From working as a lawyer to being a member of parliament, was this part of the vision for Minister Masuta?
When I became an ANC member of parliament in 99, it came as a surprise. I didn't see myself as parliamentary material. I was told that the disability rights movement, which I've been closely involved with for many years, had nominated me onto the ANC list. I tried to ignore it until the very last day when I was told that the deadline for signing up IC forms was the following day, then I realized that I can't justify deployment. I accepted and went to Parliament. I thought it was just going to be for 5 years, and I'll be able to go back to my passion of practicing law. But little did I know that 15 years down the line, I'll still be stuck in Parliament. But it's been a fulfilling, enriching learning experience.
Minister Masuta welcomed the announcement that he would be serving as a deputy under the Ministry of Science and Technology in 2013. He was the only member of Parliament to read and write with a braille machine in Parliament, setting a trend for others.
We've had to hit the ground running, as everybody else knows. But generally it's been okay. We're focusing on some of our priority areas in line with national policy and priorities, as reflected in the National Development Plan, in the manifesto, which is our 5-year promise to the nation and so on, and what our obligations are in relation to that.
After the break, we get a little bit more personal with Minister Masuta. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Bophelong. Next up, Minister Michael Masuta tells us about the challenges that he faces as a partially blind leader and what plans are in line for the Minister of Justice and Correctional Service. Take a look.
I now call upon the Honorable Chililo Michael Masuta.
Minister Masuta worked under the Ministry of Science and Technology, but he had his heart set on practicing law. This year, when he made it to the 2014 list of Cabinet of Ministers, he embraced the opportunity to practice law.
I, Chililo Michael Masuta, swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey and respect and uphold the Constitution and all other law of the Republic. And I undertake to hold my office as minister with honor and dignity, to be a true and faithful counselor, not to divulge directly or indirectly any secret matter entrusted to me, and to perform the functions of my office conscientiously and to the best of my ability.
Just what are the challenges of heading a department of this magnitude?
These are very huge portfolios. Total number of people employed with both departments combined is about 60,000. We have in our correctional facilities over 150,000 inmates that need to be managed on a daily basis. And we have a challenge of overcrowding in our jails, correctional facilities, currently at about 129% full, and that varies from one facility to the other, some in a worse state than others. And there's been allegations of corruption, abuse and excesses, and those are some of the things that we need to tackle head on.
It's definitely not all work and no play for Minister Masuta.
I also have the benefit that because I'm a minister, I have all the support surrounding me. I don't have to drive my own car, which I can't because I'm partially sighted. I don't have to read all the small print documents because there will be people who will read things out for me. and all this expensive equipment that an average blind person would not afford to convert print into braille and so on and so on. Those are given because you know, I'm able to obtain the tools of trade that I need to fulfill to perform my job. So in that sense, I think I am covered.
With such privileges comes great responsibilities for Minister Masuta. It took him just a few days before he was assigned to deal with the controversy surrounding the NPA, Mxolisi Nxasana's inability to obtain the security clearance from the state security agency.
There is a question that you get asked as to whether you have any previous convictions, whether you have any civil judgments ever successfully taken against you, whether you have any pending matters against you. But then there's usually right at the end a question, is there anything else that you would want to disclose which, if it comes to light, might cause embarrassment to yourself or to your future employer, a potential employer? And that's where you exercise discretion to say, you know, is this the kind of thing that under the circumstances I should be disclosing or not? And it goes to reflecting on your integrity as a person and your attitude towards integrity. Transparency, honesty are amongst the things that say something about the character of your person.
He certainly has his work cut out for him. As an advocate, Minister Masuta is currently working on the ruling for a parole application of Clive Derby, who murdered the struggle hero Chris Hani Burke in 1990.
Let's first clarify that in my interaction recently with the Medical Parole Board, the facts that have been put to me are as follows. About a year ago, Mr. W.S., through his private medical practitioner, sought to obtain medical parole, but upon examination by the Medical Parole Board, he was found not to be qualifying in terms of the law for medical parole. He then subsequently later made another attempt, which was not concluded because not all the relevant documentation or processes had been complied with, and these were communicated to himself or his legal representatives, and so far the Medical Parole Board, according to them, have since not received a second, request, so to speak. So as matters stand, we do not have an application to consider for parole, or we do not have a matter of parole for Mr. W.S. before that board. The National Council of Correctional Services has recommended, but I ultimately have to make a decision.
As the nation continues to follow his career, we certainly will be cheering him on and continue to applaud him for all his achievements. Minister Masuta has certainly confirmed that no obstacle is greater than your dreams. After all, you are the change you want to see in your own life. I think we can all agree that the story of the Honorable Minister is one that proves that South Africa is not only a place of great opportunity, but also a great possibility for those that strive for greatness, regardless of the challenges that they face. After the break, we talk to Bronwyn from the Johannesburg School for the Blind to unpack how we all can socialize the disabled from a young age. Do stay with us. thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Bophelong with me, Bophelong Molebati. On the Bophelong chair this afternoon, I am with Abigail Timba and Brownwayne Jones from the Johannesburg School for the Blind and the Visually Impaired. And they have requested that, because we're going to explore the world of the blind, that I put on a blindfold while they demonstrate. So I'm going to put on the blindfold. Welcome, ladies, firstly, before I do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to put on the blindfold and we're going to proceed. Okay, so Brownwayne, you brought stuff with us, with you to the studio, and you wanted to have a little bit of a demonstration. I can't see a thing, but I'm going to trust you to lead me. So what am I doing with this?
Okay, when you are blind, you need to find your way around the world.
True.
You can find your way around things that are close to you or far away. But when you have learnt how to go out and about in the world, you will hold a stick like this.
Okay.
And you will walk along Johannesburg's terrible pavements, sweeping it back and forth, hoping that you will find all the holes and not fall into them.
With just the stick like this?
Yeah, you may have a guide dog for the blind if you are lucky. But it's not just teaching you how to use the stick, it's also teaching the public to respect it. For people to stop when you're crossing a zebra crossing, when you're sweeping it in front of you. So that's a big effort. But at the end of the stick, if you just tap it on the floor,
Okay.
it's quite hard to imagine what you're feeling.
Yeah, no, I don't really have a sense of direction, and also because I don't know haven't used this before.
Yeah, so to get you into the blind world, I'm handing you a sucker, but it's not a sucker. Just use it as a handle, and then lean forward. Let me take the big stick back from you. Pass it back. Lean forward, and there are some objects on. take with the pointy end. Turn it around the other way.
Yes.
And then some objects. No, don't cheat with that hand.
Okay.
Because you can't put your other hand on the ground when you're walking with a stick.
It's instinct. You want to protect yourself.
Just please put your other hand back and just use the hand holding the stick, and then feel the objects on the table in front of you.
Okay. Because I had seen the object earlier. I think I've got an idea of what they could be. There's something here. I can feel that there is stuff here. What else that I'm supposed to be feeling and looking for? Okay,
I would like you to tell me of the objects in front of you, which are natural living things and which are not.
From this sucker?
From the end of the stick, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which ones are real and which ones?
I'm going to just take a wild guess.
Don't cheat with your fingers.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take a wild guess and say the papers are not real.
Ignore the picture. Yes, but of the lumpy things in front of you.
These are not real. These are not real.
None of them.
Well, well, I have no idea.
Okay, you're not. Feel the three very close to you.
With the stick.
Yeah, with the end of the stick. Feel the three and tell us about them.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I'm managing very well. It's quite tricky. I know there's a square shape here, and then there's a division. But I'm not sure. You're going to have to help me now. Okay,
the key difference is you've now got three objects pretty well at the end of your stick.
Yeah.
And two of them are from something living, and one of them was never alive.
Okay.
Which one was never alive?
Yeah. I have no idea, Brownwood. I'm not very good. Firstly, I'm nervous that it's all black, and I'm trying to get them right. So with this, I don't have a direction of...
Okay, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Now, keep holding the stick.
Okay.
So this one was a living pepper. This one was also a living pepper. And this one is a plastic pepper. You cannot teach blind children with these plastic things, because now hold them in your hands, and you can feel the different weight and the temperature. That's a living one, and then feel the one that was never alive.
Okay, okay. Oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course you can't do that with everything in life. So one of the mistakes of the public is they will give people things in miniature, or they will give them plastic effigies. You can't learn that way. You've got to learn with the real things.
Okay.
If you want to identify a camel, I can't give you a small plastic camel. It's just a lump of plastic. I need to take you to the zoo, and you need to touch the camel's tail or his nose and listen to him and smell the camel. He has a distinct smell, and so on. So after you start to find your way around the world, you also have got to learn just feel with one hand, you've got 6 dots in front of you.
Yeah.
That is how Braille works.
Yeah.
Braille works on a pattern of 6 dots and spaces. So now feel again.
Yes.
Oops, so it's preferably not moving. And we do this in an egg box usually.
Yeah.
So when one is missing, it's a different letter.
Yeah.
So I think you can take your blindfold off for a moment.
Thank you, Bronwyn. Okay.
So,
Woo! It's good to see the light.
Abigail.
Okay, so ladies, I'm just worried about the time because there's so much to go through. And I think before, I kind of get the gist of it. It's got to be real for the blind people to have an idea of what it is. Can we go straight to the Braille machine?
Sure. Abigail's got a Braille in front of you.
The Braille machine over here.
And she can explain it to you.
And Bronwyn, you're going to show us the dots that she spoke about.
Yeah, we have a list of I told you it's a pattern of 6 dots and spaces. So Abigail can type for you the basic alphabet. So she can show you how she's going to type.
Okay.
Like
so ready when you are, Bronwyn.
Yeah, I am ready. So as Bronwyn said, like the alphabets, they're like the alphabet are made out of 6 dots. So if you're counting from the Braille, you're starting from left. So if I've got 3 dots here and then 3 dots on my right. Yeah. So if you start counting, you're starting from your left, you said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to know dot A, it's alphabet A, it's like dot 1. B, it's dot 1 and 2. Okay. C, it's dot 1 and 4. So it's like, it's the numbers. Yeah. So as I said, like A, it's dot 1, you press 1, and then the Braille machine will space itself. And then B, it's dot 1 and 2, and then C, it's dot 1 and 3. D, it's 1, 4, and 5. Yeah. So it's like you have to know the numbers. The trick is like changing the numbers. So it's like when you get to F, I think it's F, H, and like J, they're similar, but you have to change the numbers.
Okay. So Bronwyn and Abigail, of course, is it very difficult to maneuver around this machine? How do you first introduce a small child who's, of course, totally blind to this machine?
All right. They will initially they'll simply just do A because it's a very easy letter, and then you build up to the alphabet, and once they've done the alphabet, and typically we'll get them to type their own name, then they will start to make words. And this is a long process. Abigail's got the whole alphabet there. I don't know if your camera can pick it up because the Braille dots don't show up.
And we've got the numbers too. Like if you're writing the numbers, there is a symbol for
numbers as well.
Yeah, the numbers as well. So the symbol of the numbers is 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then dot 1.
This feels like a crash course in a very short space of time. But I've got the most important questions that I would like to ask you, Bronwyn, is it does this machine delay you, for example, if you're a person who's totally blind and you have to write an exam, you're in varsity, you're not in a special school for blind people. Is it as fast as I can pick up a pen and write with it?
No, it's not. You would be allowed extra time. Pretty well with any sort of disability, people can calculate if you should have extra time for the exam. It's a bit like a golf handicap. As time goes on with the expensive technology, then people can have computers they can talk to and where they get used to them. And those should pretty well be as quick. But as you go on learning, you've learned the alphabet, you've learned the words, and then you learn contractions, which are abbreviations. And one of our kids, Bophelong, he typed a word for you today. Everyone should watch SABC.
Oh, thank you so much. So the children from the Johannesburg School of the Blind and partially sighted typed this for Bophelong, and they're saying everybody must watch everyone should watch SABC. So that's what it looks like in Braille, and that's what it looks like in everyday letters. Ladies, thank you so much for coming through. I'm hoping that we have achieved our objective this afternoon with all of the demonstration, and I will try and put as many of these things on social media so that if you would like to not, to also be inclusive with other people that have, visual impairment, or you would like to know how to use Braille so you can communicate better with other people that have, short sight, so that you're able to use that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching us this afternoon. We'll do this again next week, Saturday, same time, same place. Goodbye. Thank you so much. also be inclusive with other people that have, you know, visual impairment, or you would like to know how to use Braille so you can communicate better with other people that have, you know, short sight, so that you're able to use that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching us this afternoon. We'll do this again next week, Saturday, same time, same place. Goodbye. Thank you so much.